जय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल।
Yeah, he was saying la. Namo Vishnu. लगाउँ त ल।
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रह्लाददायिने हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्षः Tiatangka nakalale ito narsinga idare narsinga
ito narsinga paratona ito ya
ito lami toto narsinga
yato yami taton bahir
Bagir narsinga diare narsinga
bahir narsinga
Narasinga Papa Dev
Narasimha Madim
Tabakala Kamala Bale Enaka Arbuta Singa Hiranakasipu Tanu Binga Keshavadita Rayari Rupa Dadagadisha Hale Hedara Shahale Hedara Shahale
Tabakara Kamala Bale Naka Adhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Kesavajita Narahari Rupa
Dalagadita Hale
Jaya Jagadish Jaya Narsingadev, Narsingadev, Narsingadev.
Dala palat malat, palat malat, palat malat, dala palat malat. Nita Gaura Haribo, 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 Nita Gaura Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Jai Prabhupada ki.
Jai Jai Prabhu. Hare Krishna mana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very good.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Didi bole aise.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare. Very good.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Jaya Radha Kala Chandra.
Radha Radha Kala Chandi Radha Kala Chandi Shiyade.
Jaya Radha Kala Chandri Radha Kala Chandri Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda.
Radha Radha Govind Radha Govinda Hirale.
Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Jagannath. Jaya Jagannath.
Radha Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadra Maidara Siddhantana.
Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadra Mai Jaya Sudarsana Gauranitai. Jaya
Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Nitai Gauranitai.
Nita Gaura Haribo, 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 Nita Gaura Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribol, Haribol. Jai Jai Prabhupada. Josh song, ne?
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, प्रेमानंद.
गौ प्रेमानंद.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhu, can you get me kartal from there? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Follow the tune. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. What is? It's Hamsadvani. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Kalachan Ji ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Jaya Radha Kala Chanji Radha Kala Chanji Radhe Radha Kala Chanji Radha Kala Chanji Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva और प्रेमानंदे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Mama.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Jaya Radha Kala Janji Radha Kala Janji Sri Radha Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Suvarnamai Jaya Sudarsana जय छोटे राधा काला चंद जी छोटे राधा काला चंद जी राधे
जय छोटा राधा काला चंदी छोटा राधा काला चंदी राधे
जय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय
जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव
निताय गौरा हरिबल हरिबल निताय गौरा हरिबल
निताय गौरा हरिबोल निताय गौरा हरिबोल
गौरा प्रेमानंद
हरि हरि बोल
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ora Premanande. That's all right.
Hare Krishna. So welcome. Today is the second day of the observance of the holy appearance of Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. So far, yesterday we had an amazing program. Many speakers spoke who were visitors and senior devotees. And then in the evening, the program continued with more presentations. Particularly, we were going to have a number of them, but we ended up with just one because it went for the whole span of time. That was Kalchandji Prabhu and Mother Shraddhanjali speaking about their association with Gurudev and tying it into the Vyasa Puja program. And then this morning, we had a wonderful class given by His Grace Mukundadatta Prabhu, sitting at the back there. Thank you very much, Prabhu. It was just an amazing class. A lot of us heard it online because we couldn't make it to the temple for one reason or another. And then after that, there were two presentations that were made that were led by Garuda Prabhu, which dealt more with academics, theology, and education in that arena. That went very well as well. This part of the program has two objectives. The one objective is for those who are disciples and were not able to speak yesterday because we worked the program out in such a way that the disciples could speak today and tomorrow. And particularly today, we want to start hearing from those disciples who I understand are going to be leaving for another program that's happening maybe half an hour, 45 minutes from here. That's a celebration also that's happening there. More like a July 4th celebration that's happening. So before you leave, we'd like you to hear from you, and then we'll continue. But we also have some really nice recordings that Mother Nandini arranged from wonderful devotees around the world, but particularly we'll play some of the Maharajas who were on that system. And then we also want to hear from the other devotees who have come from out of town especially. And so we give you priority, and then we'll start with the local devotees as well speaking. And tomorrow, since we are the disciples meeting tomorrow, the local disciples are being told as much as possible, just wait until tomorrow for that program that starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and will go up till 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. In the evening, as I understand it, and I can be corrected if I'm wrong, with the Sunday Feast program, there's going to be a panel of some of the devotees from Dallas who will answer questions from the congregation, because many in the congregation joined this temple after Srila Gurudev left the planet, after 2002. And many of them would like to know more about Gurudev. They feel the energy, and they feel inquisitive, they want to know more. And so they want to ask questions, and so we're giving them that opportunity at that time. That program normally starts around 5 o'clock. The Sunday Feast lecture part of the program generally starts at 5 o'clock. I'm not so sure if they have reorganized that festival, because whenever a festival is reorganized, they sometimes change the timings, a little back and forth to allow whatever needs to happen properly like that. So today, as always, the deities have been dressed very nicely, amazingly. They look so beautiful. And they're so happy because His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj spent a lot of blood, sweat, and tears taking care of this temple. When he took over this temple, if you were here at the time when he took over this temple, you would not recognize this temple. You would simply not recognize it. All of this was not here that you see right now. It was cinder blocks. And actually, when he first took it over, which is in 1971, this temple was bought from the Baptist church. At that time when we took it over, this was a basketball court. And the church was that building that you see on this side. The building on this side, the big building that you see, was the church. And it didn't have the facade that you see on the top. Now you see a facade on top of the church that ties in with this building as well. All that was arranged by the family of Mother Indranila, who is sitting right here. Mother Indranila, can you put your hand up, please? This is Mother Indranila. And her husband, who was here at the time as well, Radha Vinod Prabhu, I don't think I see him. I don't see him now. I'm sure he's on his way from wherever he is. But it was pretty much Mother Indranila whose family financed that project. And if I'm not wrong, that cost her family a little like $250,000 to actually set up that facade. And we really thank you for that. Let's please give her a big hand. Thank you very much. All the way from the first disciples who came here, that was described by both by Sunanda Prabhu, who is sitting here, a very nice, very senior disciple, devotee in our movement, very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada and devotee, and Mukundadatta Prabhu, who is at the back. They gave some description of how the first devotees came to Dallas. And they really, when they came, as I understand it, they started in Turtle Creek, right? The first building was in Turtle Creek, which is downtown, for those of us who know Dallas well enough. And then that was around 1968, if I'm not wrong, around 68, 69, that was the time. So that's when Dallas started with the Hare Krishna movement in Dallas. And then in 1971, as I said, this building was bought from the Christian church. And then in 1972, on the day of Radha Astami, Srila Prabhupada installed Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji on the altar. And so that's when things really started picking up in a bigger way. And then later on, much later in the 80s, early to mid 80s, all of this was put up. And the devotees who worked at this say that there were times they felt that they would die while they were doing this program. That was how difficult it was to put up these. You look at these structures and you think, okay, so the crane must have brought it in and put it in. No, there's cement inside of it. And the devotees actually organized it in such a way that all these columns are so heavy you can't imagine how heavy these columns are. That because they've all got filling inside them of cement that's very, very heavy, like that. And then something very wonderful happened, and that is that a wonderful artist whose name is B.G. Sharma. Most of us here are probably not artists and we don't know so much about art. But he was a very famous artist, and his paintings would be yay big, like 18 inches by 18 inches. The largest ones of them were like 2 feet by 2 feet. So these are very unique paintings by him that he set up here in Dallas as windows to the spiritual world. So that, Jai. Srila Giriraj Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. So the idea was that when you looked at these paintings, you could see what was happening in Vrindavan. You can visualize Goloka Vrindavan. You can visualize the spiritual world by looking at these paintings. And this was the genius of Goswami Maharaj. He is the one who organized all of this. And what you see on the top as deities on the top are all demigods and demigoddesses. So this is so that the demigods and demigoddesses could also participate. And then he set it up in such a way that the temple was filled with lions. Now you can see on every one of them, there are a number of lions, and then with Srila Prabhupada also there are a number of lions. There are 2 lions there with Srila Prabhupada. And then when we built the Samadhi for Goswami Maharaj when he left the planet, we decided to put lions there too, because he had that lion-like personality. And these lions are here to tell us that you have to be lion-like to be Krishna conscious. Because this world will throw everything in the kitchen sink at you if you try to enter into devotional service. The nature of this world is that it flows away from the spiritual world. It flows towards more and more materialism, more and more materialistic energy, like that. And here what we are doing is a little like swimming up the river to the top of the mountain. Now try to imagine swimming, even on a flat surface. It takes a lot of effort. Imagine swimming up a river to the top of the mountain. I mean, that people say that's just impossible. But Srila Prabhupada said, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. And so everything that was set up in this temple was to remind us of Vrindavan, so that we will be in Vrindavan, have the mood of Vrindavan, where everything is centered on Kalachandji. His pleasure is everyone's pleasure. And so this whole temple was organized by him in that way. And today, we're very fortunate that we can sit here and take advantage of all that hard work that went in and the many devotees who actually helped and served. I remember when I came in 1993 to this temple, the saying was that devotees didn't stay for more than a year or two. Devotees always coming and going, because it was very difficult. The situation was very difficult. The accommodations for staying were very austere. If I had Mother Chandravali here right now and ask her to speak, she would tell you that when they slept in the ashram, there would be Texas-sized cockroaches everywhere. Texas size. I mean, that's big. One of them can scare anybody. There were a bunch of them. There were rats everywhere. And these were not small rats. They were like huge Texas-sized rats. There were raccoons. I remember once doing a fire sacrifice in the hall upstairs with a few devotees, and a raccoon came. Huge raccoon came to the fire sacrifice. So the devotees decided, let's chase the raccoon away. I said, no, don't do that. Who knows? Might be a devotee, right, who's come in that form and wants to participate in a fire sacrifice, you know? And the raccoon sat there all through the sacrifice. When the sacrifice was over, the raccoon got up and left. And we realized that was no ordinary raccoon. We had a time when, again, in the 1990s, some amazing things happened in all years. But in the 1990s, one time, we came into the temple room and there was a dog sitting right there. And the dog was looking at the deities. So naturally, our inclination is chase the dog away. But with some intelligence, we decided not to do that. We thought, let the dog be. Let's just see what happens. So the dog sat there for a while and then got up. We opened the door and the dog left. Just such a well-behaved dog. We'd never seen that dog before. So pastimes have happened in this temple, and there are many others, and I don't want to talk about them all now because it'll take us all the time that we've allocated for this program. But all of this is Srila Prabhupada and his disciples and their disciples working very hard to organize this temple so that we will all have the opportunity of coming to know about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Radha and Krishna, Krishna and Balaram, like that, Gaur Nitai. And then once again re-enter their association and go back home, back to Godhead. And that's why you see here it's written, Futuristic Guru leading families back to Godhead. Back to Godhead is a very famous magazine in our movement that Srila Prabhupada started. And that was his purpose. He wanted to help everybody go back home, back to Godhead, because that is the only place that we can be truly in our meaning and purpose. Otherwise, we're outside our meaning and purpose, and then lots of things go wrong in our life. And then we see that for Srila Prabhupada, we wrote that he is the divine, loving patriarch. Because he had so much love in his heart. He worked with everyone with so much love that this movement became a very, very powerful movement. And some of us today recognize it, and others will recognize it later, that this is the most powerful movement on the planet. Bar none. What ISKCON achieved in its first 50 years, if you look at all other movements and add up what they did in their first 50 years, add all of them up, multiplied by 100, it still does not equal what ISKCON did in its first 50 years. This is Srila Prabhupada's contribution and the contribution of his disciples, like we have Mukunda Datta Prabhu sitting at the back, we have Giriraj Maharaj sitting here, we have Sunanda Prabhu sitting here, and I'm hoping I'm not missing out anybody. These are the disciples. And then they gave birth to us, spiritual birth to us, and we became the grand disciples. And now here we are as the grand disciples, celebrating a stellar devotee, stellar personality, in the midst of the other stellar devotees and personalities who were with him. This fortune cannot be understood. This will only be understood 10 years from now when we celebrate the 90th I would be surprised if there's any disciple of Srila Prabhupada still on the planet at that time. It will be amazing. That person will be, I don't know how to describe that person, but that person would be almost like Jesus Christ walking on the planet. Everybody will honor that person, have so much love for that person. The only one person or two people were left behind who are still here from the time when this movement started, way back in 1965 when Srila Prabhupada came to America, and of course before that in India. So again, thank you all for attending. And now I'm going to ask those of our devotees who have come from out of town, who did not speak yesterday, and especially those who are about to leave, because I understand some of you have a festival to go to, a celebration to go to at 6 o'clock or so. And of course you guys can go later as well, you know, knowing the Filipinos. These guys celebrate way after midnight also. And so you've got a long day ahead of you, you know. So take your time going, but please spend some time with us and tell us your stories, what you'd like to say. Yes, Maraji, please come and speak. Go ahead. And then, I don't know all the names of the devotees, so Maraji, maybe you can call out those devotees and then tell them to come after you come, okay? So please. And at some point, after they're finished, we'll start playing some of the videos of the Maharajas who have spoken from out of town. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. My name is Ananda Vrindavan, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj gave me that name. I am very much hesitant to tell this story, but since Nityananda said about different form, like the dog and the raccoon, I'm sure all of us have a experience on miracle, you know, in your lifetime. In my lifetime, so many times, you know, like the demigod, Chandra came, that's another story. When I went to India, Lord Nrsimhadev came, that's a different story. And then I went to Paris, and the deity, Paris Iswari, talked to me and give me personal instruction of what to do in my life. And then I came here in Dallas. And the story is, one of my friends asked me, you know, if I want to go to Houston. And I never went to Houston. I never saw the new temple. I said, sure, I'll come. So I went with them. And then when we reached there in the morning, Mongol Artik and Tulsi Artik, there's so many Maharaj, oh my God. Anyway, there's so many seminars going on, and there's a lot of devotees. And Tulsi Artik, one devotee told me, for so many women, I was behind. And she picked me and she said, Mataji, do you want to do Tulsi Artik? I said, sure. So I did the Tulsi Artik. And then when I'm done doing the Tulsi Artik, because it's a new temple, I don't know where to bring everything. So I asked her, where can I bring this and wash? And she said, follow me. I said, okay, I follow her, and you know, there's some code to go inside that deity room. So I'm washing the dishes for the Tulsi Artik, and then, you know, I said, where can I put this? And then other devotee came, and she said, put it over there, and then follow me. I said, and within myself, I said, I already know I'm done. I'm supposed to be going out. So I follow him. He said, come over here and read this. Because I think before you go to the deities, you have some purification that you have to read it. And he said, read everything. I said, okay. So I just stand there and read everything. And then after that, he said again, follow me. So I just follow. Why he said follow, I follow. And then he took me to the deity room. I mean, before going to the deity room, And then when I went inside, I saw all the atmosphere of the DT room change. It's like it become the energy is so like it's different. It's like the energy is so light, like I'm in a different world. And I saw all these devotees so happily like serving each deities. And then one devotee come to me and he said, follow me. I said, okay, I follow him. And he said, put your head in the lotus feet of the deities, Gornitai, both of them. So, okay, I put my head down and, and then after I did that, then another devotee came and said, follow me. So I follow, and he took me to the lotus feet of Nila Madhava, and he said, put your head in the lotus feet. So I did, and then same thing with, Krishna, I put my head. And then after that, and then another devotee came and told me, follow me. He took me to the sheligram, what do you call that, sheligram? Govardhan shell. So she told me to put my head in there too, pay my obeisances and pay my respect and all those things. And I was like, I'm just doing what they told me to do. And then when I'm done, I get up. As I said, the atmosphere is changed and everything like that. And then towards the end, this is my, I saw Srila Gurudev standing there. And anyway, I was shocked because he's not in this material world anymore. So I went over there and I paid my respect. And he touched his hand on my head. And he gave me a very, the smile, the beautiful smile that he has. And he said, he touched my head and he said, are you happy now? And I said, of course. He's like, Gurudev, I'm so happy and I can't believe, that this thing is happening to me. And then, we walk and all of a sudden he disappeared. And then as soon as I'm out of the altar, the atmosphere changed to like heavy, So there's different things like that happening. And sometimes Srila Gurudev also will come to my dream. I don't know if Kalachandji is here. Anyway, in my dream, Srila Gurudev said, is Kalachandji and Shikshasaka still coming to the temple? I said, yes, Srila Gurudev, they come every Sunday. And he was so heavy and telling me, I want you to tell them to get it together. I said, you want me to? Yes, tell them to get it together. So I met them in a temple, or I went to their house, and I said, oh, I have a dream of Srila Gurudev. And Srila Gurudev said, get it together. That's all, that's the message that Srila Gurudev said. And then when I was here in Dallas, my god sister Nila Madhava, she was so sick, and she's refusing to go to the doctor. Nobody can bring her to the doctor. And then I come there to help her out and take care of her. And I have a dream of Srila Gurudev again. And Srila Gurudev tell Nila Madhava to go to the doctor right now. I said, Nila Madhava, Srila Gurudev said, go to the doctor right now, because she's refusing, so she went. So that's my story of Srila Gurudev. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. My name is Matura Lila, and I live in Vancouver, Canada, the past 40 years now. I joined in the Philippines when I was 14 years old, and at that time we have the Philippine Yatra is, we have a different guru that's looking after all the devotees. Unfortunately, he left the movement and stuff. And we were so fortunate that Srila Gurudev came to rescue all of us. I was very close to Hansadutta Prabhu. There's a group of girls that are heavy-duty Sankirtan devotees. We will go 8-10 hours a day on Sankirtan and distribute books. And we don't have any donors from India or anywhere, so we maintain the temple just by book distribution. So when we were out of town when the switch was happening, and I was told that Mathura Lila, at that time it was Mani Manjari. We have a new guru, you need to come back to the Philippines and you have to meet Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And then I said, no, I'm not going to surrender because I don't know him, and I was initiated by Hansadutta Prabhu, everything, you know. So I said, I'm going to stay out in Sankirtan and just live out on the street. And I was really, really stubborn. And the temple president said, well, we're not going to send you any books, so what are you going to do? So I said, well, I guess, I mean, I was 14 at that time. So I said, okay, all right, I will come back to Manila Temple, but I'm not promising anything. So Gurudev was in a hotel, and there's only 2 or 3 young girls out on Sankirtan. So one by one, we entered the room. And there's Gurudev, the very first time I've ever met him or know about him. So I offer my obeisances. And of course, he heard that Mani Manjari don't want to come back. She said she's not going to surrender. Right? So then I offer my obeisances, and I look at first glance of Srila Gurudev, and he said, you're Mani Manjari? I said, yes, Gurudev. And he goes, I was expecting someone that is like big, 6 feet tall, and really heavy duty, Mataji. You're this tiny little girl, but you're so stubborn. And I said, I'm so sorry. You know, and then Gurudev handled me with so much care and love. He knows our faith was destroyed because you're supposed to worship a guru like Krishna. No falling down, no mistakes, nothing. So that's how we worship at that time. And of course, when somebody said, well, your guru is blah, 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 then your faith is, you know, it's damaged. You used to wonder. So I asked Gurudev. I always ask him so many questions. So when he's giving a class and no one raised a question, or I don't raise my question, he's going to look at me. No question, Mathura Lila? So I was like, so anyhow, I asked Gurudev, if this person has fallen down, how are we able to maintain our Krishna consciousness and our sadhana and our ability to give Prabhupada books to others? And Gurudev said, because Srila Prabhupada has taken care of you. Prabhupada is your grandfather. And grandfather Srila Prabhupada is even more merciful than sometimes the father himself. So I love that answer. You know, I love that answer. And I also dreamt of Prabhupada before surrendering to my Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. And the dream was I was going to leave the temple after hearing about this latest news. And I was bowing down on the Vyasasana of Srila Prabhupada. At that time, we only have a picture of Srila Prabhupada. We don't have a deity at that temple. And as I bowed down to Srila Prabhupada came walking from the entrance to the temple. And then, you know, when you dream, you were speaking to Gurudev or to Prabhupada, but you're not really speaking, but it's just a mental discussion. So I bowed down to Srila Prabhupada, and I bowed my head, and he was just looking at me, and he tapped me on my head, and he goes, just go and surrender. I will take care of you. Nothing will happen. So And Gurudev had appeared in my dreams also several times when I was having so much question. Somebody raised yesterday that when you're involved in ISKCON politics, it's one of the hardest service. And I've been part of the ISKCON politics and management in Vancouver. And sometimes your intelligence and ego and your heart is not agreeing with each other. Your ego is hurt because somebody betrayed you, somebody said mean things to you or anything. But how can you not serve? Your heart want to serve Gurudev, want to serve Prabhupada. So you're crying because your ego is being defeated by your heart and love to Krishna and love to Prabhupada that you want to serve. And I had a few of those moments. Thank goodness I'm not in management anymore. I'm just volunteering now. But Gurudev is so expert in dealing with every single soul, every single devotee. He will, if you need a hot tamale, which he was called, a lot of us know, then he will give you the heaviest sauce and everything. But because you needed it to advance. But I was so lucky. He was always so loving and sensitive and caring to me. And so that is my relationship with Gurudev. And it's amazing that, and it touched me so much that he knows about what happened and how my fate was. And before he passed away, he wrote me a letter and he said, I hope now your faith in Guru has been restored, that you know that you have a qualified Guru. And he wanted me to go to Mayapur. He wrote to me, wanted me to go to Mayapur that last trip. And I said, Gurudev, I had so much responsibility. I was raising 4 children on my own and everything, and I'm so sorry I cannot make it. And then Gurudev said, not to worry, I will always be in Mayapur. And then, of course, I heard him leaving this world, and so I do whatever I can to do service to Gurudev. I organize parades and 40,000 people, 50,000 people. I help. In Vancouver, it's now a thing where we have many miniature Ratha Yatra everywhere. And I was given Jagannath Baladev Subhadra this big, that came to me as a gift. So I take the deities. I have a Prabhupada deity, my deities in the back of my truck, and a portable Ratha Yatra chariot. So I do that. So please give me your blessings. I really pray that, Gurudev, I love you very much, and please help me and excuse me. I was like a little spoiled brat that a lot of, a lot of doubts and also stubborn, but he was just always loving and caring. One last pastime. I've always been a Sankirtan devotee, but this day I'm supposed to cook for Gurudev for lunch, and there's several guests at the temple in Philippines, all Prabhupada disciples. So Gurudev's class is about cooking, and that you have to meditate on Srimati Radharani because she's the best cook. And so, I was chanting and meditating and I'm cooking. But what happened, I'm no expert cook. So I attempted to make kachoris. And kachoris, it's a special dish and everything. But then, after the lunch, I asked this one Prabhupada disciple, so how did Gurudev love the prasadam? He said, everybody is great. All the dishes are great, but Gurudev made fun of the kachoris because he trying to bite it, and then he dropped it on the table, and it bounced. The kachori bounced, and he started laughing, and everybody, guess what? We can play tennis with these kachoris. And I was like, oh, no. So I was like, so that's what's, oh, my God. But I was praying so hard to Srimati Radharani. So in the Philippines, there's a long japa path, and Gurudev's room or home is on the corner of that japa path. So I was chanting my runs, And Gurudev came, Mathura Leela. I said, oh no, he's going to give me a sauce about my... So I went over there and I offered my obeisances. And before he started speaking, I just started crying and bawling out. And Gurudev was like, what happened? What did I do? What happened? I said, Gurudev, I'm so sorry about my kachori. It's like a tennis ball. And then Gurudev, I can see he was trying to stop smiling and laughing. And then he tapped me on the head. Oh, don't worry, don't worry. It's a little tough, but the inside is good taste, you know. So I was like, so that's the love and the expertise of our Guru Maharaj. He would increase your love for him, your love for Prabhupada, and love for Shri Radha Kalachandji. So thank you everyone for coming, and thank you for having us. Hare Krishna.
Jai, Hare Krishna. I remember when I was the chair of the North American GBC and I went to Vancouver Temple and I met with Mathura Leela Prabhu and I realized I've got a heavy duty devotee on my hand here. She was really not so happy with the temple president and there were things going on. Nice. Wonderful devotee. Thank you very much. Anybody else here who is leaving for the program before you go? Yogamaya, please come through, Yogamaya. Come on. At one time, Prabhupada Gurudev told us all that Yogamaya is my best devotee. Yes, Gurudev once told us at one time that Yogamaya is my best devotee. That's Yogamaya. She's coming up now. Now, some other devotees have been named as well, so it's not like... We sometimes used to ask Gurudev, how many best devotees do you have? He answered that question after Mother Kitida left the body, by the way. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Yogamaya. I'm living in Dallas. Before I met Srila Gurudev, 1986, my husband wrote a letter to him, and he said, and he explained that my wife is from the Philippines, and he was in the Philippines, and we do books distribution every day, every town and village actually, and then so he wrote a letter, and my husband told him that we have a son, 4 years old, and we want to put him in a Gurukul. So Srila Gurudev write back to us a letter and some pictures from the Philippines. And he said, yeah, please come to Dallas. We have a nice Gurukula. So 1987, we just drove here. We don't tell nobody. We just park our car in front of the temple and say, we're here. Gurudev invited us to come. So anyway, they gave us a house, a little house in the front. And then, so we sent my son to the Gurukul. But anyhow, at that time, Radha Vinod put me doing paintings. And that's like August. And then October, November, I believe, was Christmas marathon. And Gurudev came. And when Srila Gurudev came, he saw me and he said, you might be Mahamaya. I said, yes, Guru. I said, yes, Srila Gurudev. And he said, I heard a lot about you from the Philippines. And I heard that you're doing books distribution there. I said, it's true. And then he asked me, what I'm doing now? And I said, I'm doing painting. And he said, okay, continue with your service. And then after a few years, and he wanted me to get initiation. And I said, no, I'm not ready, because I'm still attached. We are from Hamsaduta. And we still, still in our heart. And then after a few, in 1990, he told me I have a Vyasa Puja. I celebrate my Vyasa Puja in Houston. I wanted you to come. I said, okay. And I want to give you initiation. I said, okay. And then he gave me this is funny. Mukunda Prabhu give me a piece of paper to study. I said, Gurudev, I know I cannot pass this. This is too hard. Mukunda data, I say, oh. So anyway, I read a letter, and they have headphone before, those small headphones that you put in your ear. Yeah. So I recorded, and then because I'm doing painting, I put in my ear, I listen the recording. I know I won't. But anyway, so while I'm doing painting, we go to the mall, we go to office building, we go to in front of Home Depot, Walmart, Kroger, like that. So I'm listening the question and answer in my head, in my headphone. But anyway, so far he don't even ask me that. He just said, go to Houston. I say, okay, I went to Houston. So in that time, it's his Vyasa Puja. So he gave me initiation. He told me, your name will be Yogamaya Devidasi. And then everybody said, Sajay, like that. And then after the feast, he called me in his room. And then he gave me second initiation the same day. Yeah. That's the mercy of Srila Gurudev. And then, I don't know, the temple president, I think, sent a message here in Dallas. And then as soon as I came to Dallas, they put me dressing the deity because I'm second initiated. So I'm dressing Radha Govinda, And the same time we do paintings and every day. And then, okay, and this is Srila Gurudev. After that, Srila Gurudev gave me instruction after like few months. And he told me, because more and more Filipino came to America. So he told me, Yogamaya, I want you to tell my Filipino disciple to move to Dallas. I say, okay, Gurudev, like that. And then, after a few months, he came back to me. I say, so what happened? I said, Srila Gurudev, the husband don't want to move. they have a job, and they don't want to move to Dallas. And then he told me, okay, if they don't want to move, you tell them at least they will come in my Vyasa Puja day. I say, okay, that's easy. So one day, I invite all of them. One day I invite Balaram, his wife, almost everybody. I mean, all of them actually, they came. And then so Gurudev was so happy, that big smile he has. And then, so we all in my house, we're eating pizza. We're all in the house. And then suddenly he just opened the door, and he said, and we are, our Filipino, we are laughing and giggling, and we're telling our story. We are very young. We join the moment. We're just like a kid, And so we're telling the story, our pastime each other, And the Gurudev just opened the door, and he said, oh, here's all the Filipino. And he said, Jai Gurudev, you want some pizza? and he said, no, but enjoy your pizza. And he said, but I can hear you guys' voice from my room. I see, and it's not true, because his room is there and my house is over there. So it's not true. And then he said, enjoy your pizza and have fun. And then he left, and that's big smile, And one more thing, and after Gurudev passed his body, about 2 years, I have a dream for Gurudev. This is real. I mean, like when it's not really a dream. I wanted to attend Mungo Arctic, and then the alarm is 3 o'clock. So I said, oh, it's too early. So I just closed my eyes, just like half sleep. And I close my eyes, and then I have a dream that Gurudev is dying. He was dying, and there's a lot of devotees surrounding him. And then he sent devotee to get me, because I wasn't there. So I went away from him. So the devotee came and get me, and so I went over there, and I pay obeisances. And when he was lying down like that, because he was dying in my dream. And then he lifted up one of his foot and he put it in my head, in my dream. And then he asked me, where have you been? And I said, I cannot see you. You're dying, Gurudev. I cannot, I don't want. And then he said, don't worry, I'll be with Srila Prabhupada. And they do like that, And anyhow, I forgot. And And I know today I invite all the Filipino here, and I know Gurudev is so happy. I know he's looking, he's looking. I know he's looking up there, here, and I know he's very pleased. I bring all the Filipino today. I know he's happy. And one thing, and another thing, this is another one, huh? This lady, every Srila Gurudev's Vyasa Puja, he spent hours and hours making garland for Srila Gurudev. And she loved devotee too. She always say, I'm a Filipino, but she's not. She's from Malaysia. And she said, I'm Filipino. She always hung out with us every time when Filipino come. And, you know, I know Nila Madhava also is happy that all Filipinos here. I miss Srila Gurudev, Nila, both of you. I hope you're looking down. all the devotees here. Thank you so much.
We can see now how these Filipino devotees are really very excited and very exciting people. I remember once we were having some challenges with one of our Mexican devotees here in Dallas. And so Girdhari Maharaj happened to be the GVC at the time, before they asked me to look after this zone. And so I told him how I was having some challenges, we're having some challenges with this one Mexican devotee. And he said, yeah, he said, you know, and I said, I was speaking to Guru Prasad Maharaj how to sort it out, because Guru Prasad Maharaj deals a lot with Mexican devotees. And Guru Prasad Maharaj told me, yes, he says, these Mexican devotees, they're very emotional. And says, if you become GBC of Mexico, all your hair will go white. So I told this to Giridhari Maharaj, and Giridhari Maharaj said, you tell Guru Prasad Maharaj that your devotees will make your hair go gray, but my devotees in Philippines made me bald. Party animals. These guys love partying. You saw the kirtan that happened yesterday, right? Amazing kirtan that was done by Advaita Prabhu. How he moved, it just reminded me of the old days in the 90s when we had kirtan, you know, those very resounding kirtans where everybody danced. Nowadays it's really very mellow compared to what was happening at that time. In fact, it was so loud at that time also that there used to be complaints, especially by our temple president, that we were chanting too loudly, you know, like that. But anyway, this is very nice. Thank you, wonderful devotees. They've left now, they've gone. They're doing a very big party tonight. It's July 4th. And you cannot keep a Filipino away from a party. Not even if there's a Vyasa Puja happening. Anyway, wonderful. So now I'll ask those of you who've come from out of town especially, please, let's hear from you, because you know you've come a long way and you may not be here tomorrow for the program that's going to happen at 10 o'clock where disciples will get together and have an opportunity to say something. So let's start from the right-hand side. You want to come in, Prabhuji? Yes, please come. Okay, say something. You're not prepared? Tomorrow you'll say something? Okay, good. All right, so Hari Leela Prabhu, see that next person here? Hari Leela Prabhu, you want to come and say something, please? Okay, Dwarkanath Prabhu, when? You guys decide. The train's about to go. Pele up, the train will be gone. Dwarka Prabhu, please come through. Then Prabhuji, after that you can come, then Hari Leela Prabhu can join after that. So 3 of you speak. Okay, who else here from out of town? We've got Mother Indranila, who is from out of town. You'll be here tomorrow, so okay. Just looking around, anybody? Hari Leela's Mataji is here, she's also here. If she'd like to speak, she can come and speak. Anybody else from out of town here? I'm not seeing, recognizing. Kalchanji Prabhu is not here. I don't see him. Radha Vinod Prabhu is here. Very good. So Radha Vinod, either you can speak today or tomorrow, your choice. And then what we'll do is we're going to play some videos of some of our wonderful Maharajas and others who actually Oh, you want to go right now? Okay, go ahead.
This is extremely nerve-wracking.
This is Argentinian devotee, by the way.
I don't like to
Argentinian.
speak. So, so we joined with my wife in 1981. We came here, and then after a few months, we got really into everything. And after a few months, we cleaning pots and everything. Gurudev decided, he noticed us, and he told us to go on Sankirtan. So we started going Sankirtan, and that pleased him very much. I remember one time I was doing really well in Sankirtan, in those little wild days. And so as a reward, I got to come and serve him. And so Pandava Vijaya arranged for me to come and be a personal servant. And it was a little difficult because my English, wasn't, that great. And Gurudev, is very precise and everything. I remember I was trying to close the blinds, and he told me the blinds. I didn't know what the blinds are, so I was looking at him trying to touch. I tried the curtains, I touched the window, and I touched trying to see, and he was looking at me to see what I was doing, and he thought, close the blinds. And I said, what are the blinds? I didn't know the blinds were the curtains, the window, or the actual blinds. So I was touching things. Anyway, so he gets impatient. But things were working out, and he was happy. He was giving me a lot of mercy. And after 3 days, I remember I was serving him dal, and he was in the table there, and then a pea, I don't know what happened with that pea, but jumped from the spoon into the plate, and a drop jumped into his dhoti. So he was looking at everything, and then he looked at me, okay, I think it's time you go back in the road. So that was it. Next day, I found myself in a Greyhound bus going all the way back to my Sankirtan party in the valley. So, but then I served him. I was always available. So when he was here in Dallas, I was a servant by default, and used to come and serve. Was sweet, and but I used to get it. Because one time he told me, "I'm not like you. Que será, será." I know Krishna will arrange for everything, but I don't do that. That's why I don't go to South America. Because in South America, everything is okay, everything's going to work out at the end. So he told me, that's why I don't go to South America, you see. And he never went to South America, actually. So there were multiple nice service. Sometimes I regret because I was a little shy around him, but I had so much personal service. I used to massage his legs, but I was, he was in his bed. He had a little pain in his legs, so he told me to do this, like that, all the way down. And I was silent. He was reading, and I never said too many things. So I was just talking to some of my God brothers today. I said, man, I know I'm going to have an opportunity to be with him and talk and say things and express myself. But sometimes we didn't express much. And I remember one time I came in the morning, and then Matrona used to come in the evening. And I came in the morning, I did my things, and then I went back in the evening, I knocked on the door, I opened the door, and he looked at me and said, "You again?" But he was laughing, so it used to be, he liked to be sarcastic with me, he played that way. So, and then another opportunity I remember was here serving for a whole month. And then he was going to Mayapur after that. When you're so close to him, he gets in your case, you start not becoming familiar, but becoming a little relaxed. And then we went to Mayapur, and he went ahead of me, I went a day after, and then I saw the respect that everyone had for him and the admiration. And I then dawned on me this thing, kind of remind me of the greatness of this personality. because even great devotees in Mayapur, they were they all wanted his darshan and his speak to him, and you could see that he was treated with a lot of affection and respect. So that was another nice experience. And well, since everyone is talking about dreams, I want to talk about dreams also. Why not? But I remember not too long ago, a few years ago, I was going through those rough times, and then one day came in a dream. It was a really nice dream because I was sitting outside. I think it was in the where the stairs are, and he asked me something, and then he gave me his hand, and I said, "Oh, this is really nice." I was holding his hand, and then I got distracted, and I started talking to a friend. I was still holding his hand, but in my mind, I knew that he's a very busy person. He cannot, I cannot hold his hand forever. And then I realized, I said, "Well, sorry, Sir Gurudev," and he said, "No, it's okay, as long as you want." So I just kept on holding his hand. So it was a really, the right time. You get he comes and he is a reminder that he is, still watching. Then also some other dreams happened, very significant. But I think today I had a nice realization when Garuda Prabhu and the devotees were talking about his greatness, how the intellectual community accepts him, and he interacts with them, and they, I guess they like him. They appreciate him. Many of them, many scholars, they develop a relation, and it was really sweet and nice because he's our hero. He's my hero, and when you see that your hero is being appreciated also in this eclectic community, is very. His greatness is magnified. You can understand how great is this person. So to being here and to see his glorification, especially from this course that Garuda gave and Mukunda Prabhu gave, to see how not just the devotees appreciate him, but many people who are not devotees, who are not in the devotional community, have great appreciation from him. It's also very, it's very nice. It makes you feel like what a great personality he is. And I know I'm going to see him again, and I'm going to talk. I'm not going to be tongue-tied. I come from a background where in my home you couldn't express your feelings, so somehow even with my kids tell me something, they start becoming too lovey, and they tell, "Okay, Dad, you have to say I love you." "Okay, baby, I love you." So it takes a little time to warm up. So, but I'm sure it's going to be there. I have no doubts he's going to be there, waiting for me and for all of us. He said he'll only come for Kirtida when he was when he came here to be with Kirtida in his final days. He said he promised her. Actually, he promised her before. Whenever you're getting ready, I will go, but I cannot be there for everyone. He remarked, I cannot travel all around the planet to be. Each time one of my disciples go, I will be there, but I have no doubts he will be with us when we cross the line to the other side. Thank you very much. Haribo.
Thank you, Radha Prabhu. So, Dr. Prabhu, you want to come? You want to speak, please? No? Dear Prabhu? Oh, Dr. Prabhu coming. Okay. And then Dinanath Prabhu, you can come after that, and Hari Leela Prabhu after that. Yeah. Does your wife want to speak as well? Can you check with her, please? Just check with her so that if she wants to come, she can come with you. Both of you can come at the same time.
Hare Krishna to everyone. I am Dwarkanath Das and I am from Houston, Texas. I was very fortunate that the same place here I took my first initiation in 1986. It was also, I remember, I started coming to the Houston temple in 1975. And when first time I saw Guru there, I was shocked to see his enthusiasm and his energy. He came in the bus because Houston temple was very small at that time. Maybe were 5 or 6 devotees only. And the temple was kind of a rundown, kind of full of rats and roaches and everything. But he came and he has no issue with all this rundown temple. And he immediately when he came started planning to renovate this temple, because before the Gurudevs there were other GBCs there, but nobody took any initiative to do any improvement to the temple, even though condition was so bad. But immediately as soon as he came, he saw that this need to be improved. He need to call more devotees. And he asked me, I was coming over there, and he was almost 10 years and I haven't taken initiation yet. So he asked me, says, what's the issue? Why you are not taking initiation? You are from the India. You have Bharat birth. You have taken birth. And this is the Prabhupada desire that all who has taken birth in Bharat should support this movement, ISKCON movement. And I had, after he told me that only reason I can see that you don't want to, because you don't want to surrender. That's why you are doing this. And without surrendering to the Guru, all your service has no value. So finally I agree. Okay, I surrender unto you, lotus feet, my Gurudev, and I will take initiations. Once I took the initiations, and I realized that how fortunate I was to have a Gurudev as my initiating Guru. And he instructed me so many things. He also directed me to take up the deity worships. That is your responsibility, that is your duty, and you should carry on this duty very diligently and never leave the ISKCON in any condition, whatever condition you have. And since then, since I took the second initiation in 86, and since then I have been doing this deity service, and by his mercy, Guru's mercy, I have been still keep doing it, this service for 40 years now. That is his blessing and all the devotees' blessing. I could not have done these things. And you can see how he transformed the rundown building on 1111 Rosalie Street back in 70s into the present temples and 1320 West 34th Street. It's a big, big progress. You can see without his envisions, this could not have happened. That's the only enthusiastic, and he engaged everyone to participate in serving the Lords and serving all these devotees. You can see the Dallas temple. I used to visit here back in 76, 77. This temple was very simple. It was a kind of a basketball court. That's all was there. There was a simple devotees there, and Prabhupada was right over there. And he took up to make this temple very attractive, he started, and to attract the Westerners. That's what his main desire was. And he also did the restaurant, Kalatanji restaurant, very beautiful and very diligently was done, and now is a very successful restaurant, you can see. So you can see how Gurudev has invested his all efforts in uplifting the ISKCON and also all the devotees. So I thank you very much, Gurudev, for accepting me as your disciple, even though I had no qualification, but you are so merciful to me. And I beg your mercy that I keep continue what I have been doing on your behalf. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwarkanath Prabhu. Dinanath Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna. I'm Dinanath Das from Houston Temple. So yesterday they were mentioning about pushing the limit, Gurudev. So I have an example of pushing the limit and also how much he cares for his disciple. So both sides. In Houston Temple, after we moved from Rosalie Street to current location, we had a change in presidents. One president came, and Kalakant Prabhu, he left, and everything, then another president came in, and everything was start to really deteriorate. It was in a financial trouble. And president at that time, he was very rude to the devotees. So a lot of devotees were leaving from Houston Temple. So he called me in his quarter, and he told me, we are going to shut down this temple. We cannot sustain it anymore unless you become serious. We're going to shut down. And that instruction, I took it very seriously at that time that, shutting down the temple, the Gurudev is talking about shutting down the temple because of the financial trouble. So I took that to my heart, and I basically took the responsibility of managing finance at that time in a temple. How do I manage finance so temple basically come out of financial trouble? And we did different things at that time. There was a big mortgage, and that mortgage was, we were paying payment to a church because it was a church, old-time church. So we basically negotiated with the church people that if I pay you $150,000 cash instead of $225 mortgage, would you take it? And guy said, yes, pay me one time cash. So I talked, and we looked at it, said, we don't have any money. So we went to 32 devotees, 30 devotees, members. I said, each one of you give us $5,000 loan, but no interest. We'll give you 12 people back in 1 year, 12 in 2 years, another 12 in 3 years. Because our payment to the mortgage was like $2,800, something like that. So I said, that's immediate saving if we don't really have to pay a mortgage. So we raised that fund, and we got out of these mortgage things. So that's how we basically start financially stable. And then very first year, we basically call all these 36 members and have a very nice dinner and give a cashier check back to 12 people. Out of 12, 6 members came back and said, here is my donation. I don't want it back. Because we never expect that money will come back once we give it. So that's how we started doing, get finance. But then Gurudev says, okay, we have to now build a temple because this is not proper temple. It was a small church. And he says, so what should we do? Space was very small. So Gurudeva's relation with me was, he will throw out different ideas and then say, what do you think about it? Throw different ideas and what do you think about it? He was trying to test me, see where is my mind. So we start doing planning. So every trip Gurudev comes from traveling and come to Houston, very first meeting, the same evening, I have to go with a plan for the temple. He says, Gurudev, this is our plan. And he will criticize. You have no idea what you're doing. He will make all these changes. No, it should be like this. It should be like that. And then I go back, work with architect, and come up with a new plan. Next time he comes back, again there's a meeting. So this went on for maybe 4 or 5 years. So back and forth, because of the financial limitations, we just cannot do everything. So this is where Gurudev was basically guiding us in Houston, that you need to be, it's a Prabhupada temple. So it needs to be, it cannot be just any temple. It needs to be very, very beautiful, gorgeous, and it needs to be an example. And with His mercy, we were able to do what temple we got right now. It's a beautiful temple. It took a long time, but we basically were able to do it. On the other side, I was working as an engineer. So one time, Gurudev, I had to go to Cambridge. At the time, Gurudev was studying in Cambridge. So he said, why don't you visit me? I had to go to Cambridge to present a paper at my company. They had an office there. So I visited Gurudev, stayed with him in Cambridge. In the evening, we start walking. He said, let's go for a walk in Cambridge. So we went to walk. And he says, you know, this building, it's got a big tent. I always wonder, what is this building? I said, that's where Gurudev, my company I work for, and that's where I'm going to present a paper tomorrow. We said, oh, now I know what's underneath this tent. Then that when I came to Cambridge, Gurudev would have planned for a lunch. So we sat down, we were taking lunch together, and he had a cook prepare an Indian meal. So during lunch, he tells me, you know what, today I had a plan for a veggie burger and fry, all these different things, but you are Indian, so I thought you like Indian. So I said, Gurudev, I eat Indian every day, so I was looking for something different. Then he's taking care of it. That 2 days after that, I had to go in a hotel as a presentation, and he thought, what I'm going to take a prasadam. So in a hotel, from Cambridge to far, he sent Sarvabhauma Prabhu with a big plate to my hotel, prasadam for me, so I can take a prasadam, I don't have to eat outside. So I was saying, this is merciful, this I can accept it. One example I have is his relationship with his god brother. That's something, sometimes we take it very lightly, our god brother, god sisters. But his relations, I know, I've seen personally with Srila Giriraj Maharaj. During his graduation from SMU, Srila Gurudev invited 4 devotees from Houston to attend. So I was one of them. He said, I want you to attend my graduation at SMU. And it was I think it's lunchtime or just before lunchtime, something was like in the morning. So devotees from Dallas, they brought all the prasadam. And Gurudev had one room there. We all sat there. Giriraj Maharaj was there. They all sat down. And knowing Gurudev, how particular he is in time. So he kept watching his, said, we sat down for taking prasadam. He hurried up and finished his prasadam. I finished my prasadam, everything. And then I was served Giriraj Maharaj a little more, it's like, Maharaj, do you want something? And he will accept it. Gurudev kept looking at watch. And Maharaj was relishing prasadam. And Gurudev says, I told you that he's gonna continue to relish prasadam, and I'm gonna miss it. So you should not have given him prasadam. You should not have served him. I said, okay, Gurudev. But we were on time. So he will treat sometimes you with very strong instruction, but on the other side, he's very loving. He will take care of you. But we have to accept his instruction. So that's my... Huh? No, that night I had to go basically live somewhere else, but it's Indian food because he thought I'm Indian. So I said, oh, I've been getting every day. Hare Krishna. There is one thing about my good wife, Manjuali, she's here. So Gurudev, she was serving Gurudev always a breakfast in Houston. So she will see, there were a lot of other god brothers were there with Gurudev. and she made an upma and gave it to serve with God brothers and Gurudev were eating. And Maharaj, with his God brothers were taking this prasadam and said, very nice upma, very nice upma. And Gurudev tells her, how come you don't make any of this for me ever? So she made it for a Gurudev one time. Gurudev ate it. Every time he came in Houston, very next day, he has to have that upma. And somebody told Gurudev, what she's making is not an upma. Upma is not like that, some South Indian devotee said. Upma, that's not an upma. Gurudev said, I love it. Every time I come here, I have to have that upma. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Jai Dinath Prabhu ki Jai. Harilila Prabhu, please. And after Harilila Prabhu speaks, what happened was that yesterday, Indradumna Maharaj was in, Prabhu, yes, of course, we'll have you speak as well. I thought you had already gone for the party, that's why. I'll have you come and speak straight after that. So after that, what happened was that, anyway, Indradumna Maharaj was in China, and he saw the program yesterday here, online. And he liked it so much, so he made an offering. So he sent one of his disciples to actually read that offering out today. And so we'll have that reading, and then we'll go into the videos that we have. So 2 more speakers, and then thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Hari Lila Das from Houston, Texas. It is when the Philippine devotee was glorifying their relationship with Gurudev, that was really touched my heart. And actually my choice is to hear Gurudev's glorification. But here I have gathered some points for Srila Gurudev, which I'm going to present it to you. So this very special occasion of celebration of 80th appearance of our dear Srila Gurudev, I heartily and humbly offer my obeisances at Srila Gurudev's lotus feet and express my heartiest gratitude for giving me divine association and valuable instructions. As far as association is concerned, I was very lucky to get his association before he left this planet. It was last visit in Houston, Srila Gurudev has, and at that time, I think they don't know the stories. So he decided to stay at my house for a few days, and at that time, I was really lucky, and I was consider myself fortunate that he has given me this opportunity to serve him. And at that time, we were going to walk morning and talking, and there are so many other things that he has disclosed. But then I expressed my desire that Gurudev, you should spend more time in Houston Temple and train the devotees, so that way we can be an instrument for Prabhupada's mission to take it ahead. So he said that after my study completed, that is my plan. And he also said that he wanted to do Varnashram system, which we are somewhat lacking in ISKCON here. So I consider Srila Gurudev was one of the most fortunate souls who got an opportunity to associate and serve Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada noticed that Srila Gurudev was very intelligent and very eager to take instructions and serve him. So Srila Prabhupada empowered him and personally trained him. Srila Gurudev was a perfect example of total surrender to Guru and Krishna. I have heard this thing from some senior devotees also about this thing, and that really imbibed in my heart. He perfectly knew the mood of Srila Prabhupada and the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a perfect representative of Srila Prabhupada and because he imbibed so many qualities of Srila Prabhupada and he trained his disciple in the same mood of love and compassion. Although, according to material vision, Srila Gurudev disappeared from this material world, we still consider him to be present with us by his Vani association. Physical association is sometimes appreciable and sometimes not, but Vani continues to exist eternally. So, we must take advantage of his Vani, means to hear his wonderful lectures in which he gives very appropriate and divine instructions. He explains scriptural topics in simple language and in a very practical way. There are many instructions and lessons to learn which help us to remove our material suffering and give solutions to difficult problems. Actually, when I heard his lecture first, I was really impressed. And from that point on, I have decided to take initiation from him. So such a glorious speech he has, and not only that, but very clear, concise, practical way he's giving instruction through the scriptural evidences. Srila Gurudev has guided so many souls on the path of Krishna consciousness. He made changes in the lives of all he met. He touched the hearts of so many souls by various techniques of preaching. He was a constant source of inspiration for his disciple and his god brothers as well. He planted a seed of devotion in so many souls like us. Like there is a verse in Chaitanya, Brahmanya Brahmite, Kaun Bhagyavana Jiv, Guru Krishna Prasade Paye, Bhakti Lata Beach. So now it is our duty to nourish that seed by following his instruction and meditating on his divine qualities. That is the only way to please him and Krishna both. Therefore, on this very auspicious occasion of his appearance, I pray to him to shower his causeless mercy upon all of us, to give strength and intelligence to cooperate with each other and help each other to advance in our spiritual journey to make our lives sublime. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavand ki.
Hari Hari Bol. Jai. Thank you. Hari Prabhu. Advaita Prabhu, please come through.
Hare Krishna. I'm Advaita from the Philippines, but I'm staying in LA right now. Gurudev, the very first time we actually met Gurudev was in the Philippines when Hansadutta Swami left the movement. So I think the GBC arranged that Gurudev would have to take care of the Filipino devotees. So the very first day he came, he actually asked only, I think, 2 devotees to meet him first. Because at that time, the whole Philippine Yatra was kind of like confused whether we should join ISKCON or be out of ISKCON and just follow Hansadutta Swami. So, but Gurudev had a plan, and it was like a surgical precision plan. He actually just wanted to meet 2 devotees, and that was me, and the other one is Rupa Goswami Das. So we were invited to meet him at the hotel. So we went inside, we bowed down, but he wasn't in the living room. He was still in the room, and as we were bowing down, he walked into the living room and he said, "Oh, Adi Purusham," that was my name prior to Gurudev's initiation. Adipurusham, he said. And I looked up, and I just, kind of like folded my hands. I've heard so much about you. And I said, I hope they were all good. So he said, yeah. And I was actually thinking about inviting all the devotees, but then I decided to just meet, a few devotees first. So, because at that time, devotees were confused if we want to do the ISKCON or we want to do Hansaruta. So he kind of explained everything that Hansaruta was out of the Philippine Yatra, and I will be taking in charge of the devotees here. And the devotees weren't actually that interested for some reason. But then we slowly convinced all the devotees that, hey, this is what Prabhupada wanted, I guess. That's why we have Srila Gurudev, Tamal Krishna Goswami here. And we were able to convince quite a bit of them, but few of the devotees were skeptical. But anyway, so that's the whole story of how Gurudev actually took over the Philippines. Another story that I have is that at that time when he started coming and visiting Philippines, I wanted to inspire the devotees of traveling with Gurudev. So there was a Sankirtan group, which I kind of like, tell them that, hey, if we have this marathon, somebody's going to win, and then he will have the chance to travel with Gurudev. So that was the plan. And then later on, after the marathon, I said, I told Gurudev that, hey, Gurudev, I kind of inspired the devotees to have their Sankirtan marathon so they can travel with you, whoever wins. And Gurudev said, well, I have another plan. And I started thinking, oh, wait, I already promised the devotees. He said, well, my plan was that I want you to travel with me. So it turned out that I was the first Filipino devotee who traveled with Gurudev as his servant to Hong Kong and India. But Balaram, my godbrother, is the long-standing traveling servant. I don't know I'm sure a lot of people here have met Balaram, but he already passed away. And I have really nice experience with Gurudev when we were traveling. Some were actually scary and some were really sweet. We'll start with the scary one. So the very first day that we traveled was we actually flew from Philippines to Hong Kong. And Gurudev, he would take the bath and ask for gopins and everything. And I forgot the gopin. And he was asking Advaita, where's the gopin? I have gopins. I said, Gurudev, I think I left it in the Philippines. I said, then he kind of like gave me a look. He didn't say anything. And I started like shaking. That was the first boo-boo that I made. So, and I said, well, I have extra cloth that I could just rip, and he said, I don't use that kind of cloth. I use, because he has a silk gopin. And so he kind of like just slid it off, and he said, okay. And another thing that we were in, we flew from Hong Kong to India. So Gurudev would always have a lot of guests. That's one thing that I noticed. Like all the gurus, they would come and visit Gurudev, and they would have like talks and laughing and everything. So all the servants, normally they would just like go to the kitchen, try to arrange for some food, like cakes and milk and stuff like that. So I would always sneak into the kitchen because like I would count all the guests. They would like different swamis and gurus, and so I would just like sneak into the kitchen and try to get cakes and milk. So one night it happened when I served the cake, and Gurudev said, "Oh, okay, that's good." And then, well, where's the drink? I said, "Yeah, I also have milk." So I got some milk too and some earthen cups. And I started pouring all this milk in the cups, and they started dripping. That was the second one. And Gurudev looked at me and he said something like, "Filipino brain, because they don't drink milk." And I was just like standing there, and I was looking at those cups like dripping of milk on the floor. So that was a very scary experience because I was right in front of all the swamis there. He would have like 3 swamis and gurus, and everybody would just like be in the room. That was in the second floor of the temple room building. So after that, during the time when we were in Mayapur, there was a devotee that flew in from Dallas or Houston, I think, and he had a Gurudev like cashew burfi. I don't know if you all remember that. That he likes the cashew burfi, and so he had I think 2 boxes of cashew burfi, and one night I had to serve the swamis and the gurus with the cashew burfi, but there was one left, one box. So we left Mayapur and we met Bhakti Churu Maharaj, the airport I think it was, and Gurudev was telling Bhakti Churu Maharaj, "Oh, I have some cashew burfi, and I can share it with you." And then he looked at me, "Advaita, where's the cashew burfi?" And you would know that I actually left that too. I left it in Mayapur. And he just like gave me that look. Gurudev, when you kind of like drop something or not doing the right thing, he would give you that look. So we were in Punjabi Bagh that night, and I always massage Gurudev's legs. I don't know if you like almost every night. So I would always massage his legs before he take rest. And he asked me, "Hey Advaita, how's the experience traveling with me?" And I said, "Gurudev, it is actually very exciting, but at the same time scary. And I don't know if you noticed that when you give me that look, when you give me that sign of dissatisfaction, I would like shake and not really function properly." And the one thing that he said that night, he actually looked at me and he said, "Okay, from now on, I will not give you chastisement." He would teach me things, but not in a different way. So, and he said that from now on, we will change it into something like different. So, and I said, "Gurudev, I think that would help me." So, from Mayapur, because Gurudev always have the plan of the travel itineraries from Mayapur, he would go to Rishikesh. And he would stay at where Prabhupada normally stays. And when we got there, the servant of the owner handed Gurudev the key. And he said, "Oh, you can give it to Advaita. My servant is over there." So I took the key. I kept the key because you know, I have to lock them every time we go out. So after a few days staying in Rishikesh, I think 3 days or 4 days we were there. So we were all prepping up to leave. And we were just like, we left actually the building and we were in the some kind of a bank river or something. I still remember that. Or I think we were in the boat or something. And there was this guy rushing towards us, like waving. And he asked, we don't have the key for the house. As fate would have it, I actually had the key. But he looked at me in a way that, because he said that from now on I'm not going to chastise you, but then he would just like, kind of like made a sign that Advaita has it. So that was my experience with Gurudev when I traveled with him. I mean, I had the scary side, but the sweet side was also there. So I would cherish all those moments that I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Advaita Prabhu. So, Sakya Mandala, are you here? Sakya Mandala, can you please come up? This is the offering that Indradumna Maharaj wrote for Maharaj. He just actually sent it in today. It's a very fresh offering. And as you know, they were both very close with one another, and he's the one who really started the big Sadhu Sangha program in the US. So Gurudev really liked Kirtan a lot, so I thought that he should. So go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I'm just humbly reading this on behalf of His Holiness Indradumna Swami for His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj. From His Holiness Indradumna Swami for His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami's 80th Vyasa Puja. Dear Goswami Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today, here in China, we are observing your 80th Vyasa Puja anniversary. Although many years have passed since your departure, memories of you remain as vivid as ever. Time has not diminished them. If anything, it has only deepened my appreciation for the gift of your association. Our friendship goes back to the mid-1970s. Every year you, a fellow devotee, and I would leave behind the demands of preaching and escape to the sacred town of Rishikesh, nestled in the foothills of the Himalayas. Those few days became an annual oasis in our otherwise demanding lives. The simplicity of those retreats was part of their charm. We spent our days reading Srila Prabhupada's books, chanting together, swimming in the cool waters of Mother Ganges, and holding intimate kirtans with just the three of us in that spiritually subcharged atmosphere. Removed from the pressures of management and preaching, we found time simply to be together as godbrothers. Looking back now, I realize how deeply those days influenced my own spiritual life. More than anyone else, you instilled within me an unshakable enthusiasm for the missionary spirit of Krishna consciousness. Again and again, you spoke with deep conviction about the glories of the holy name, the importance of book distribution, and above all, the urgency of making new devotees. Your words were never theoretical. They carried the weight of realization. Long before I understood it myself, you awakened within me a lifelong desire to dedicate everything to Lord Chaitanya's mission. I first met you when I was still a very new devotee. You made a profound impression on me. I admired you immensely, although to be honest, in those early days, I was also a little afraid of you. You carried yourself like a commander leading Lord Chaitanya's army. Your determination was unmistakable, your standards uncompromising, and your leadership inspired everyone around you to push the Sankirtan movement forward with extraordinary intensity. Being in your presence made one want to work harder, surrender more deeply, and never settle for mediocrity. That was at the Tamal Krishna Maharaj most devotees knew. But those who had the good fortune to know you more intimately discovered someone quite different. Beneath that commanding exterior was a remarkably gentle and affectionate heart. You genuinely loved devotees. You cherished the association of your godbrothers, As the years passed, your longing for Vrindavan and the loving mood of the residents of Raj became increasingly evident. Behind the bold preacher was a devotee whose heart was becoming softer and softer in remembrance of Radha and Krishna. I experienced that side of you personally in 1978 when I approached you with the desire to accept sannyas during the Gaur Purnim festival in Mayapur. From the day I had joined Krishna conscious movement, I had been constantly traveling and preaching. Gradually, the desire arose within me to leave household life and dedicate myself fully to the renounced order. When I shared that desire with my GBC representative, he simply replied, "Ask Tamal Krishna Maharaj. If he agrees, I'll approve your request." Those words did little to calm my nerves. Summoning whatever courage I could find, I approached you on the roof of the long building in Mayapur. I expected a rigorous examination. I imagined difficult questions about my motives, my qualifications, and my plans for the future. Instead, something entirely unexpected happened. You invited me to sit beside you. After asking only a few thoughtful questions about my determination to preach, you patiently explained what life as a sannyasi would require. Your advice was practical, encouraging, and deeply compassionate. There was no intimidation, only genuine concern that I understand both the responsibility and the privilege of accepting the renounced order. Nearly 5 decades have passed since that conversation, yet I still find myself following the practical guidance that you so kindly gave me that day. Not long afterward, in 1980, we were together in the Los Angeles Rath Yatra. During the festival, you quietly pulled me aside. With the enthusiasm that always characterized your preaching, you said, "Indra, let's form a team, you and me. We'll travel all over America, all over the world, just like I did with Vishnu Jan Maharaj. You lead the kirtan, I'll speak together, and we'll make devotees everywhere." To you, it wasn't merely an idea. You could already see it unfolding. At the time, I appreciated your invitation, but I don't think I fully understood what you were offering me. I do now. I've returned to that conversation many times. As time passed and our lives took different paths in Srila Prabhupada's service, I have often wished I had simply said yes. For reasons that seemed practical at the time, I let the opportunity pass. Looking back, it remains one of the few genuine regrets of my devotional life. To have traveled and preached beside you would have been one of its greatest blessings. However, this was not only an opportunity with you, the only opportunity that I allowed to slip away. Over the years, you repeatedly invited me to spend time with you, in Dallas, in Vrindavan, in Cambridge, and later in Oxford. More often than not, I declined because of preaching schedules or other commitments that seemed important at the time. Only years later did I realize what I had missed. Among all my godbrothers, I don't think anyone understood the value of association more deeply than you did. You understood that devotees do not simply work together. They nourish one another through friendship, honest conversation, shared service, and remembrance of Srila Prabhupada. You treasured those moments and created them whenever you could. As the years have gone by, I have come to appreciate more and more. Service is indispensable.